Guys came back. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about a quote that I found online many years ago. I cannot find any evidence to dismiss it, okay, for lack of better words. So let's just get into it, okay? So the quote goes, I might have to look it up, but I'll put the quote here. So what I take that to mean is nothing anybody says to you per se is going to upset you unless it's something that you are already insecure about. Some people are insecure about their weight. They might think that they're too thin. They might think that they're too fat. They might think that they're not the right shape, whatever it may be. If you point that out to them, it's likely to upset them because they already have that insecurity within them, their own insecurity that's being pointed out by others. The opposite side of this, an example I really like to use in this instance is height. At least for me, so it helps me understand this a little bit more, you gotta find something that you are not insecure about at all within yourself to make it make sense for you. But for me, height has not been anything that I've ever been insecure about. Like, I am what height I am. I'm 5'2". I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I don't take pride in it. I also don't feel insecure about it. So nobody will ever upset me or trigger me based on something they say about my height. You know, I've been called short, you know, shorty. Oh, you're the closest to the ground. It's funny. Those jokes are funny to me. But if somebody were to make a little remark about something that I am insecure about, I'm gonna feel upset. Whether I exhibit that frustration in my actions, whether I retaliate or whether I just keep it inside, I'm gonna feel that trigger. I'm gonna feel that upset because I already have that insecurity within me. All people can do is trigger emotions and trigger beliefs that you already hold. It's not the other person's words at all that are making you upset. Nobody made you upset. You were confronted by an issue or some words or some circumstances that caused your own insecure belief to come to the forefront. That's what that trigger is. It's not about what somebody has done to you. It's about how you feel about it, because you're not going to be upset about something that you're confident in. And people are confident about different things, so it's hard for me to give like a universal example. For me, it's height. I don't know. You could use maybe your hair color or your birth date, whatever works for you. This is one of my favorite books. I own it because I have read and reread and reread and reread. It's called The 4 Agreements. I don't know if you guys can see it. The 4 Agreements, and it's written by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm just gonna read a little passage that I found from there that I think is quite relevant to this conversation. This is part of the introduction. This is not part of the 4 Agreements. And it goes, and he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. And the world of illusion is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. Great introduction, great book, highly recommend. Introduction is kind of telling a story about this guy that has the realization, this epiphany that everything that he perceives in life is just a reflection of himself. There's another quote that I love, that I live by. Your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness in me. It means something when you can find the same idea across different communities and different larger theories. I'm out running errands, if I'm at work, whatever I'm doing, and I find myself getting triggered about something. Doesn't matter what it is. If I find myself getting triggered about anything, the problem is not what triggered me. The problem is that I have this insecurity within me that's now coming to the forefront. And that's what you need to confront, because you're not going to grow, you're not going to find any change, you're not going to find any help for yourself if you're focusing on what triggered you. That literally does not matter at all. The question that you should be asking in that moment is rather than focusing on the outside, you need to figure out what negative belief of yourself is coming to the surface. And that is where you start. Okay? That is the starting point. You want to be able to work through that negative belief, that negative self-view, that insecurity. Because without working through that insecurity, you're just gonna be at the whims of outside stimulus. And you don't want to be. You want to be in control. You want to be able to choose your life for yourself and choose what that looks for you and choose anything in your life. Like, this is your life. You need to be in control of it. You need to be in control of yourself, your path, your actions, how you adjust, how you feel. And when you allow yourself to hold a lot of negative self-talk and to hold a lot of self-doubt and to hold a lot of insecurities, you're only hurting yourself. You're only imploding. It doesn't matter what you present and how you act, it's always inside. The biggest thing that I think that matters is how you feel. You can control your actions. You can control your words. You can control how you show up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are feeling good. It doesn't necessarily mean that you believe what you're saying. So that's the thing. It's a really personal journey. Nobody can really help you. I mean, people can guide you, people can give you tips and tricks and tools, but nobody can actually go into your mind and go into your heart and fix your insecurities for you. And that's such a good thing about triggers, because I feel like triggers get like such a negative connotation, because you triggered me, so that means that you need to stop this behavior that's triggering me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to be able to soothe yourself. You need to be able to be in control of yourself. You need to be able to self-regulate your emotions and not depend on others to regulate your emotions for you. That's not fair, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like, it's impossible. You cannot feel better depending on outside influence. It's not gonna truly make you feel better. Maybe you'll be able to feel better in the moment, feel good in the moment. Probably just you shoving down those negative emotions and pretending like they're not there. You can't pretend like they're not there. You have to actually work through them. And the only way to work through them, you have to confront them. That's the first step. And that can be a big and scary step, confronting your demons, confronting all this negative talk that you've let go round and round and round in your head to the point that block it out. It's just background music, but it's there. It's there and it matters and it's influencing you. It's probably the biggest thing that influences you is your way that you talk to yourself internally and the beliefs that you hold about yourself. I would say that's the biggest thing that influences you as a person. So if you're not in control of that, if you're not monitoring that, if you're not aware of that, it goes back to my video about confidence. You're just gonna be at the whims of outside. You're just gonna be at the whims of everybody else, and you're not gonna be in control. You're not going to be in control of yourself. And so if you're not in control of yourself, there's no way that you can find fulfillment. I can see that there's no way you'll find success, but I guess success looks different for everybody. If somebody's making a certain salary, they might consider that successful, and sure, that is successful. But to me, true success is really about fulfillment and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your day-to-day life and how you're showing up for yourself and the people that you care about in your day-to-day life. When you try to tie your happiness to some outside goal, like, you know, money or a relationship or, you know, the nice house or whatever, there's some people that do that, like celebrities, and they're still miserable. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up on Britney Spears, and she had this one song, Lucky, and I love that song. I knew it word for word, and I would be singing it as a kid, and I would be hearing the words, and I'm like, what is she saying? Why is she saying she's unhappy? But she cries in her lonely heart, thinking, if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? Such a sad song, and I just did not understand. I mean, I was a kid, so obviously I did not understand, because I was thinking, like, how could you be unhappy? Clearly you don't believe in these words. You're just singing it for the song because you're rich, you're famous, You're a pop star. There's nothing more. If you're not happy, you're lying to yourself. And that's absolutely not true. And it's why people can reach these outside milestones or goals and they still feel miserable because they're expecting these outside things to make them feel good inside. And that's just not how it works. You can be broke and happy. You can be single and happy. You can be homeless and happy. And you can also be a millionaire and be miserable. You can also be in a absolutely loving relationship with an absolute gem of a partner, and you can still be miserable. You can have the nicest house on the block, fully paid, no mortgage, no nothing, and you can still be miserable as hell. Cry yourself to sleep every night because you don't love yourself and you're not working on it. You're not confronting your insecurities. You're just running away from yourself. That's all it is. You're looking for these outside stimulus to distract you from the work that you have to do within. There are people that do this their entire lives and never find even a moment of true happiness and true fulfillment. And they normalize it. They say, you know, I'm just an angry person. You know, I'm just depressed. There are valid mental health reasons that you may be feeling a certain way, like depression, but what are you doing for yourself to change that? Why are you accepting a miserable life? Whether you have clinical depression or not, why are you accepting that? Why are you accepting showing up as an angry person? Why are you treating yourself badly? Why is it okay that you can show up for the people that you care about in a negative way? It's not. Questions. I've always held the belief that everything comes from within. All answers come from within, and nothing from the outside world, nothing from others, no circumstance is going to override that. If you're super excited when people compliment you and it makes you feel really good, then you're probably the type of person that's also going to take it personally when people insult you or criticize you. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. Why do you care about outside opinions? Why are you using outside opinions to decide what you think about yourself? Why are you not solid in your self-image? That is so huge. Why are you overlooking that? Why are you normalizing that? Nobody cares. And if they do, why do you? If it's easy to convince you or change your mind of something, that's probably a sign that you need to work on your confidence and being able to be secure within yourself. You need to trust yourself because you run the ship, man. Ship. Please don't block me. I'm not swearing, I said ship. You run the ship. You are the captain. If you're not going to stand for that responsibility for yourself, you're doomed. Doomed. That is my little rant for today. Thank you for returning. I'm really excited to make these videos. If anybody has any topics or ideas that you want me to cover or just want my opinion on anything, drop them below in the comments. And until next time, cheers.